Hello everyone and welcome back to Beyond the Kit. My name's Brett Morgan. Now today we have the wonderful Tessa Niles. Now Tess is a renowned top UK backing vocalist here, and she's had decades of working with so many great artists around the globe. You know, the likes of Bowie, the Police, Eric Clapton. I mean, it really does go on and on. I was trying to rack my brains to get all these names out, but it's a bit pointless because it's unlikely that you haven't got an album or a single that Tess isn't on. You'll hear her. So yeah, I would just say sit back and watch this. It's a fantastic listen. I wanted to say a quick thank you to both Tessa and her partner, Eddie, for taking their whole day out. We haven't caught up for many years, so it was I had such a lovely day, and I want to thank you very much for your kindness all day, guys. And anyway, for all of you out there, sit back and listen to this. It's wonderful. Tessa, oh my God, Tessa Niles, it is an honor to have you here, and thank you so much for letting me use your amazing home. It's absolutely stunning, by the way. I'm going to ask you something now. You might have to rack your brains a bit. Your childhood, before you got into being a process.
Generally very happy, loving parents. So I was extremely fortunate. I have an older brother and an older sister.
Right.
And I was hugely influenced by their musical choices.
Yeah.
So whatever they were listening to, I by default was listening to as well, and I loved their music. I was very fortunate to meet a friend of my brother's who was a musician, and he really became my mentor.
Oh wow!
And prior to that, my brother and I would just sing along with whatever was going on. You know, the adverts of the day, we'd always add the harmony that didn't need to be there, but we wanted to put it in. So this friend of my brother's just began to train me, if you like, in terms of my ear training, because I didn't read and I didn't play an instrument. I tried the violin. Everyone begged me to stop. And and so singing became the next best thing for me. And I sang along to absolutely everything, every record, and devoured the backs of the album covers like we did in those days to see who the players were and who was playing what and who was singing what. And I think that those early days spent non-stop listening. Just a barrage of what I considered to be great music. I mean, I was obsessed with the Carpenters, all of their harmonies, the Beatles, Stevie Wonder. They're fertile grounds for learning. My mother had been a singer, an amateur singer. And I think had things been different and she hadn't gone through the war years, things might have been different for her. So she always had a real, both my parents were very supportive of music in the house. Great. And there didn't seem to be that massive divide between the generations. They actually loved listening to Stevie stuff and the Carpenters, and they were really into that as well.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate. And my brother sang, and so he and I were always singing harmonies together.
Where were you? Were you living in London then, or?
Well, I was born in Ilford in Essex.
Okay.
And we moved when I was 5 to Kent. So I largely grew up in Maidstone in Kent.
You were at school, and then did you have a band at school, or did you do all of that? School band thing, or did you?
No, my school, I don't think was very musical, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't remember it being hugely musical. We had music lessons, but it was limited.
Yeah.
What I did throw myself into was drama, and I loved the whole dramatic side of it.
Fantastic, yeah.
And so outside of school, I would kind of work with this friend of my brother's, and we would work on his multi-track, and he would teach me harmonies, and we would sing. And in fact, we sent something into Capital Radio. They were holding a competition. And I won the competition. I think it was 13.
Oh my God.
And so I got to come up to London, chaperoned by my brother, and they played this particular little piece of music that I recorded to win the competition on the hour, every hour. And I thought I'd made it. But that I can definitely pinpoint was a moment where I thought, ooh, I might be all right at this.
Yeah. School was a kind of it was a hurdle, wasn't it? We had to get over. It's like, oh, can we get this out of the way? Because
literally.
we know.
I remember that day of leaving school. It's
Yeah.
probably 15 and a half, 16, whatever you are.
Yeah.
I don't think my parents even considered higher education for me. All I knew was I had to sing. I didn't know where it would take me. I had no idea where it would go. But it was that burning desire, and God knows I couldn't do anything else. I think it's interesting about who you have around you when you're growing up. And I mean,
Really
you know
true.
this better than anyone.
Yeah.
I was so fortunate to have a tribe of people, you know, my siblings, my parents, my grandparents, who were supportive. I don't think they knew anything about how I would get there, but I just knew that they believed in me, that there was a belief system. And I think for young people these days, you may not have that. And a lot of people haven't grown up with that. You know,
really
they've
true.
grown up with difficulties and they haven't had that tribe. But somehow I think the test in life is to try and find that tribe as you go, and recognize them when you meet them, you know, and hold on to them. It just needs to be one person.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be a whole village.
That's
it
true.
can be just one person who like spurs you on.
Were you a professional straight as you left school? Or?
I left school with not having a clue of what to do.
Yeah.
And very little. I think I got 4 GCSEs.
Oh.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's impressive, man. Jeez.
Right? My dad worked in the rag trade.
All right.
And so I went to work in the factory where he worked, and they were making policemen's uniforms and vicars' dog collars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I worked on a production line throughout the summer. So I left school and then there was a bit of the summer left, and I worked for maybe sort of 4 or 5 months on a production line in a factory.
That is amazing. Gosh.
And if ever there was a reason to become a singer, it was to get out of doing that.
Yeah, but how? Well,
but what a learning curve. What an amazing learning curve. I met the most extraordinary, largely women, working that factory job. And I knew I wasn't going to stay doing it, obviously, but it was kind of a bit of kicking my heels and deciding what it was I did want to do. And I did what every good musician did back in those days. I bought the Melody Maker.
Oh, man. What would we have done without that?
AKA the Bible.
Yeah. I mean, oh, my God, it's really exciting buying that every week, wasn't it?
So exciting.
Oh, my God, what's around this week?
Exactly. And it seemed to be the in.
Yeah.
Because there was no internet, obviously, and there was nobody guiding you, and there wasn't a path that everyone took. Everybody found their own way. So Melody Maker seemed to be the in.
100%.
I saw someone was looking for singers, and I started to work. I auditioned for a band, and we started to do cabaret work. So we were working in the Middle East, which sounds quite unbelievable.
In the Middle East?
Yeah, yeah. Well, in Dubai, so obviously it was a little... But it was when Dubai only had one hotel.
Yeah.
It was so underdeveloped. But I joined a band, and it was an incredible experience.
And
that was my first live work.
Are you saying that you found that gig in the Melody Maker?
Yes.
Wait up for the audition, got it, and off you go.
Yeah, off I went. My parents thought I was going to be sold into some kind of slavery. It was the best, because I felt like I was on my way. This was me doing what I wanted to do, which was sing. And I learned so much from the other people who were older than me and took me very much under their wing. Again, you know, so fortunate to have supportive people around me. So I did that for about 1.5 years, something like that.
Oh, that's a fair amount of time,
yeah, fair amount of time. And so I got my live chops up.
Yeah. So
because I hadn't done any live singing. So I was singing with terrible sound systems and, you know, navigating that we all have to do.
Wow.
And learning about my own lead voice as well, because I hadn't done much of that either. So it was tried and tested,
of course,
pushing and, you know, learning. I mean, nobody back in the day, because I never had any singing lessons, you know, would ever teach you how to use your full voice. Yeah. You just basically had to shout a bit and learn by trial and error. What you can, what you can't do, what sounds good, what's impossibly difficult, and what should never, ever be heard again. You know? So
it's fascinating. When you were saying about, you know, you did a lot of harmonies when you were a kid and everything with your brother. And then touching on lead. Now, you know that transition, were you anxious when you had to, all of a sudden you're doing, you know, that
hugely
much more kind of a more safe environment, doing BVs, there's 2 or 3 of you. And then all of a sudden, hey, Tessa, can you come up and sing this? And you're young, really young, inexperienced.
Yeah. Performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Kicked in big time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to do it. Nobody had ever told me how to do it, how to stand, what to do with your hands, where do you look, let alone how do you sound. And you only really know by doing.
Yeah.
You know, I think everything I've ever done, I've learned by doing it, not really by studying it. And I mean, we were having a chat earlier about the benefits of studying and the confidence that gives you.
Yeah.
However, I learned a different way. And it wasn't the wrong way, but it was just different. You know, those facilities to be able to learn technically were not available to me. So I just learned it my own way.
And so you did that cabaret. I mean, wow. And then moved on. And then what happened? Can you remember after that?
Well, then I had a very auspicious meeting with a gentleman called Richard Niles, who people may well have come across, and a very accomplished writer, producer, musician, extraordinary. And we ended up marrying. And he, again, was somebody who was extraordinarily influential to me, believed in me, helped me incredibly, and opened a lot of doors, fair to say.
Of course. Well,
he did. I mean, I had to prove myself over and above being his.
I mean, there's that thing of opening doors.
Yeah.
But then it's over to you now.
Yeah, you have to walk through it and prove yourself. Yeah.
Which is.
But I'm always mindful of the fact that without those doors opening and somebody doing that, it can be incredibly difficult to get in. And you remember the session scene when I was coming up, kind of early 80s, I suppose, was pretty closed. It was a closed shop. Singers didn't want to let you in. They didn't, you know, they had they were on a lovely earner, and it was a tight-knit community.
100%.
And they didn't particularly want the young people coming in. But there were exceptions. I remember a lovely lady called Stephanie de Sykes, who was very, very, very generous to me.
How lovely.
Yeah, she was super generous. And then somebody who gave us an awful lot of work, a guy called David Mindel, was extraordinarily helpful to me as well.
Lovely man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm forever grateful for those opportunities. And so you find your way. You find your way, even though I realised it wasn't an easy world to get into.
It's quite a different world now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. The kids today are extraordinarily ingenious.
Yeah.
You know, they're their own art directors. They're their own record companies. They're their own accountants. They have to do everything. Yeah. Absolutely everything. They can do it, and they do it well, and they do find their own way. People do. If your heart is in it.
Now, for any of you, those who may not know Tessa, I find that extraordinary. I'll tell you what happened. This morning, was it this morning? No, it's last night. I went to just check on some, like a CV, see what Tessa's been up to. And I just gave up. It was just endless. Artists that you've recorded with, toured with. It's ridiculous CV, if we can put it in those terms.
I am ridiculous.
From your upbringing, you certainly won't. Here's a silver spoon. Here's the door. Oh, off you go. You have to pay your dues, and you built your way up. But one of my personal favourites that you worked for, and still to this day, is it Bowie or Bowie?
Good, yeah, good point.
Do you get
I do. I get confused, and I muddle it up all the time.
Oh, okay, well,
sometimes
that's
it's
good.
Bowie, sometimes.
I loved Bowie.
Yeah.
And you were working with him quite a lot, weren't you?
Well, a short burst.
Yeah.
A short, intense burst, namely working with him at Live Aid. That was...
Oh, wow. What a buzz that was.
Yeah, that was just insane at 22 to get
22.
The call. Of course, nobody knew what it really was, and that it would resonate 40 years later. We're now still talking about it. Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
but that was quite an opener for me. You know,
22.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. But working with him, and again, you know, just standing on the shoulders of giants, I suppose you'd say. Working with somebody like him who was interested in every aspect of the performance. You know, what are you going to wear? I wasn't used to working with guys who were interested in what everybody was wearing. You know? But that was so much part of his thing and his shtick. His whole thing was the visuals and
very visual,
and blending and blurring the lines between everything and pushing those boundaries. So just being around people like that,
him.
I mean, you can't not learn
his songs, man, and his voice was so unique. I mean,
and he also, you know, stole from genres effortlessly and, you know, unapologetically as well. He got a lot of his vocal style from a musical star called Anthony Newley.
No way.
Yeah, he did. And if you listen to Anthony Newley now, oh gosh, I really recommend people do it. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. There's phrasing and stylistically, and he did that, and he made it his own. You know, he pulled from the greats, he pulled from the people that he was inspired by. And this became this extraordinary, fearless artistry that he had.
Incredible. I'm going to check. Yeah. I must check that out because that's extraordinary.
Especially the laughing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolute pure Anthony Newley. But I think we all do, don't we? We pull from...
Yeah. I mean, it's pointless me mentioning the artist. It just is. So, no, it's true.
There aren't that many, really.
No rubbish. But I also love The Police, and I know you worked with them. Great band.
That was baptism by fire for me.
Yeah.
Well, that was an amazing... I did their last tour, which was called the Synchronicity Tour. And, that was...
a lot of fun.
That was a learning curve and a lot of fun. Far too much fun, actually.
Did you do, was it a big tour? Or?
Yeah, it was a big US tour.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was full on rock and roll. It was full on private planes.
The whole shebang.
Everybody had their own limo. Well, not us, not the three singers, but certainly Sting, Andy and Stuart had. And just standing on a stage with those guys, hearing the force of natures that they are. Yeah. You know, watching Stuart play every night was...
I mean, when
the most high octane experience you could ever have.
I mean, he's definitely one of my favourite players. When he came out, his placement, I used to think, what? Yeah. I remember driving, going, whoa, hang on, the drums, man, this is like something else. It's like his placement was very different to what I was used to hearing. Really inspiring player.
And he attributes that to having grown up in the Middle East.
Iran,
was it Beirut? I think he possibly moved around because his dad had an interesting job. And I think he was influenced by a lot of jazz and by a lot of Middle Eastern music.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something a bit off the track here. Did you ever lose it on a session? I can't picture you because you just... But it's possible.
There was a time when Miriam Stockley and I actually lost it with laughter. We worked with a guy. It was actually at the Stock Waterman and Aitken studios.
Right, yeah.
And Miri had booked me for this session, and it was for a chap. I don't even know where he was from. It might have been somewhere like Romania. Mm-hmm. And it was clearly, you know, there was a lot of cash
flying around.
Yeah. It wasn't a regular gig, and he wasn't a regular artist, should we say. I think it was just a passion project of this particular artist. And Miri and I came in to do the vocals, and the song was so bad.
Oh, no.
So
you can
help yourself. At one point, I was just sliding down the studio wall, just...
Oh, no way.
Lost it. And Miriam, you know, very professional, incredibly upstanding. She also lost it. And I think the fact that she lost it, I mean, people might expect it from me, but not from her. And so when she did, it was... And I mean, sometimes with adverts and jingles, the advertising agents would be just nuts. Yeah. And they'd ask you to do ridiculous things like, can you make this sound a bit more green? Yeah, then you...
you still went in and did jingles here and there. So you were kind of open to doing vast amounts of
that
work.
Was the spice of life for me. It was the variety of it, and just I loved doing the jingles as much as a rock and roll session, really, because they were challenging.
I've got to kind of be a character now.
Exactly. It always felt like being a bit of an actress, using your voice and changing, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Loved it.
You were with a band once.
Oh, you are naughty.
Yes, with called Taketh of That. Take That. Now, the massive, huge band. How did you find that, working with those guys?
Well, full disclosure, never toured with them.
You didn't?
No, never toured
Recorded
with them.
a lot, though.
Recorded a bit, not too much.
I got that wrong, folks.
According to our sources, I did a couple of tracks with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sadly, because I think they're brilliant. Robbie, I did a lot of work with.
You did a lot of work with Robbie. I bet he's a laugh.
Oh.
Great fun, right?
So much fun. I didn't know it was possible to have that much fun on the road.
Well, I'd imagine you're both pretty similar because you're a bit of a nuts.
What you're saying?
But, in the nicest way.
Well, he just is this, powerhouse, effervescent, extraordinarily talented guy, and just being around him is great in itself.
Yeah.
Interesting, he would come off stage very often and just say he'd done a shit job. Huge self-doubt.
Yeah.
And we'd all be like, what? That was just phenomenal. But, we all have our feelings about things, especially artists who are doing it out there every night.
The mental side of things as well as the physical side. And,
100%.
It's important, isn't it?
Incredibly important that, young people coming up who want to navigate this profession have a toolbox full of all the things they need, not just from the musical side of things, but that they have the wherewithal and the skills to navigate the highs and the lows, really.
Yeah.
Because we've had to do that.
Yeah.
And again, find our own way through it without too much outside help.
Yeah.
And it would be great if we can maybe pass on a bit of that to the young'uns. And it's extraordinarily difficult. As a session musician, of course, we never get the full force of the spotlight on us.
No, of course. Yeah.
Which actually suited me.
Yeah.
So much so.
Yeah.
I dabbled in the artistry thing and being an artist, but it didn't really sit with me. It wasn't a driving force in me. I don't think I had that. I don't think I wanted it.
Enough. You didn't want it
No,
enough.
I didn't want it enough. I wanted the session thing because for me, I felt that sat.
It sat well with you.
With me, and what I wanted to do and what I was good at.
Yeah.
But the other side of it, but you're so right. You still need a very large helping of self-esteem and self-belief to put yourself out there to do it in the first place. And people get that from very, very different areas, I think. Some people get it from their upbringing. Yeah. Some people develop it later on. Some people just fake it. Yeah. Till they make it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's different for every single person, but those anxieties are within us, I think, with all of us. We all have anxiety about something or other. For sure. And it's just a question of how you manage it and don't let it sabotage you, or ambush what it is you're trying to do.
If you weren't doing what you're doing, say if you're like, right, I'm not allowed to sing, right, or anything to do with the music business, would there be something what would you do as a career, do you think?
Thought about this many times.
You have?
Yeah.
Go on.
How long have you got? I do desperately need a Brett Morgan drum roll on this one. Okay, I have lots of passions in my life other than singing. So I would have liked to have been an archaeologist.
Oh my God.
Fascinated by ancient history. Let's not even start talking about Pompeii because
Just too much.
it's just too much for
Yeah.
everyone. I have a passion for the 18th century, Britain, Georgian, England. Very passionate about that. I have a passion for antiques, for many things actually. And we touched on this earlier about making music your all.
Yeah.
And I think a person is extraordinarily fortunate if it is their all.
Yeah.
And they achieve what they want to achieve and they go down that path and they're successful at it. And it feeds their soul and it makes them happy. I think it's important to have other things that define you outside of music.
100, yeah.
Even though it's your best friend and will always be your best friend.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about earlier on, it's almost like a compulsion to you. We don't really have a choice.
No.
It's there. The creativity is in you. It's inherent in you. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just how you choose to let it grow or let it define you or you know, how you use it. So I would have loved to have tried other things. I've never seen myself solely.
I'm sure you're going
as a
to
singer.
be exploring all of that.
I will try.
I've got an idea. Now, guys, I've got to tell you something. Tessa is actually an author as well of the most incredible... Thanks, Tess.
I prefer it with brushes.
Incredible book. It's called Backtrack. Here is the cover. You guys have got to go out and buy at least 3. Definitely. It's a whole insight into Tessa's phenomenal career and with real true life stories. Fascinating.
Thank you.
How long, crikey, I mean, I've got an idea, but I certainly don't know. How long did this take to do? Because it must have taken ages. It's not like, oh, Tess, listen, can you write a book? Yeah, I'll be done in a month. It's certainly not that. Or was it?
It might surprise you.
2 weeks? God, no way.
There's only 5 pages.
Oh, yeah.
There's only 5 pages. The rest are all blank.
Oh, my God.
I met someone. I was on a radio show with someone.
Yeah.
And I'd been thinking about writing for a long time. I was living in South Africa and I was not really singing when I was there.
Okay.
And so I had quite a lot of time. I was mum most of the time, but then I was in my head because we all live in our heads, don't we? We all.
Yeah.
So dreaming and scheming about things. And I thought it's probably time to start putting some of these stories down.
Amazing.
And I was on this radio show with a lady who was called the Book Midwife. And she brings books to life.
Wow.
She helps people. So she's a mentor for authors. And as soon as I was like, okay, I need her. Oh my God. So I hired her.
What is she like an agent?
No, she's a book midwife. So she facilitates authors to write their books.
You did say that, didn't you? She's a midwife. So Brett, don't be. What's wrong with you, mate?
Well, no, but I mean, she's not. So she just helps authors write books
For the love of it.
No, it's her business. She's actually, if you look her up, she's called the Book Midwife.
Wow.
And what she does is she knows that most people have got a book in them. I mean, you've got 12 books in you. Let's be honest.
Back here.
Let's be honest.
But please.
She knows that most people have stories in them, but can't write them.
Yeah.
Because where do you start? I certainly didn't know. I had no clue. Absolutely none. You know, once upon a time, I like singing. What did I know? I hadn't written anything since I was 12. So with her help and her mentorship, she helped me write the book. And she didn't have any creative input in it whatsoever. Are we?
I just want to make
we
sure
veering?
you're...
She didn't have any creative input. But she coached me like you would hire a personal trainer. She coached me. She would call me every couple of days and say, right, how many words have you written today?
And this is in South Africa?
Yes, this is in South Africa. She gave me the structure because I didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
So she provided the structure. This is where you start. She also asked me right at the beginning, what kind of book do you want to write? Do you want to tell all your stories?
Yeah.
It's a very good question.
It is, isn't it?
And she said, do you possibly want to sell a few more than you would? And I said, no. I said, I have no reason to dob anybody in it.
That's very cool. That's very good.
I've had
Yeah, you don't need to do
I don't
stuff.
need to do it. Why?
No.
Why would anybody hurt anyone? Yes,
Why?
sure, I know. We all know stories about people, but
It's
really?
not
it's not
not
cool,
on,
is
is
it?
it?
It's so not cool.
No.
So I knew that I just wanted to kind of make it about my experiences and as truthful as I could, but without anything sensational. So that's what we did, and we wrote it in 90 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, it's because she was coaching me.
How wonderful.
She'd say, how many words have you written today? And I'd say, oh, I had to take the kids to ballet. She'd no.
You
Gosh.
do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework. Get this done. I want 1,000 words by tomorrow.
Jesus, that's
yeah, and
brilliant.
that's how I needed somebody who would do that, because I knew if I'd started to write a book, it still wouldn't be done.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It would have been a great book, but she died, before she finished it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I needed someone to crack the whip.
Oh, honestly, so much respect, because, people can talk about these sort of things, but you actually did it. I know the opening was there from that lovely lady, but you were the one that had to do the work. You had to go and go, do you know what? I'm going to go for this.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Yeah.
It's also
Timing
really bloody
as well,
important. Yeah, it's also bloody important. It's really important, especially from Tessa, because of her immense history in this business. An absolute giant of at least 40 years of working with all the major people on the planet. You'll have albums, any albums. I promise you, you'll hear on
Thank
lots
you,
of
Brett.
stuff.
Thank
It's
you.
just really
Thank you.
incredible.
It felt like a good thing to get the stories out, even if it's. I mean, I basically wrote it for my kids so that
Sure.
they would.
How lovely,
say,
yeah.
What did you do when you were young, Mum?
Yeah.
And the next generation, it's a nice thing to do. I would absolutely encourage anyone, even if you don't feel you have a writing facility or it's something unusual for you, using somebody to help you was the key for me.
Definitely.
To have that person train me, if you like, a personal trainer.
Yeah. Would you? I don't know. You probably don't have the will to do it now, because you've
the will to live.
But you've got.
You're right, Brett. You know me so well.
Oh, I missed you. But would you do any more?
Oh, hell yes.
You would.
We're just getting started.
Right.
Yeah. There's another volume there.
Tessa, also, I know that recently, well, it's not that recent, is it? But you've been seriously passionate about, have I got this right? It's like pottery.
Yeah.
What's the story behind this passion?
Yeah.
How did that
I guess some time ago, maybe 10 years ago, I started to, get to a certain point in the path of life where you wanted hobbies.
Yeah.
And start to do other things.
Avon
Avon calling.